Never mind, I was on mute. All right, the show is starting. And for anybody who's interested in watching, it is on YouTube on the Ring of Honor YouTube channel. I'm guessing it's starting right now. Oh no, there's a little countdown or something coming on the screen. Well, wait on that. Wait on that. Hey Tia, see you. All right, they got their little countdown. All right, here we go. The show is starting now. This is a special YouTube episode or something. I don't know. All right, Beast Mortos. This is what we're starting with. Beast Mortos. Now, I'm not 100% sure all the matches that they got, but we'll see. The Beast Mortos. All right, all right. Y'all know the drill. We have Beast Mortos. He's going to be teaming up with Sammy for the tag title. Oh my God, Gravity. For those of y'all who don't remember Gravity, Gravity is Bandito's brother. I don't know who's older. I don't know who's younger, but on Bandito's Instagram, they have like the little thing where they're making breakfast or whatever the hell they're doing, and they're shirtless with the mask on, obviously, but shirtless. So that should encourage some people to go check it out. All right, Gravity, we see you. We haven't seen Gravity in the ring, like in a match in a long time. Y'all probably seen him here and there, like whenever they had like Bandito's granny on screen. Gravity will be like right there next to her, just in case if anything pop off. He's right there. And not only Beast Morto is going to be teaming up with Sammy to go for the tag titles. Yes, they are vacated again. He's also going to be in the main event at the pay per view where he could possibly get that title off of Bandito in a survival of the fittest match. So that's going to be interesting. So he and Sammy going to be doing double duty on the pay per view. And when I thought about it, I was like, hold on. So nobody else was doing anything? No one else was doing anything where y'all couldn't call them and say, "Hey, you don't have to be sitting back here. Why don't you come on over and do a little something, something on the pay per view?" So we'll see. So I'm not really sure what's going. Because obviously the tag match is going to come on before the main event, but I see Bandito retaining. Like I don't see why he would lose in this type of match. And the main reason why I'm saying that is because he hasn't been in any stories. No, so this is a special episode. The pay-per-view is gonna be on Friday. So if you go on Ring of Honor's YouTube channel, they are airing this episode right now. I don't want to say this is the go home show because I don't know if they are doing a show on Thursday. I'm not sure because they got the pay-per-view on Friday. So all I know is that this is a special episode and they're airing it today. Not sure about Thursday, but it's on YouTube. Go ahead and check it out. So yes, so Tommy Billington gonna be teaming up with Adam Priest. They are a really great team. If y'all don't know about Tommy and Adam, they are amazing, amazing team. They've been doing some trios with Jay Lethal on Ring of Honor, and y'all probably seen them on Collision too. If you guys are watching Collision, so y'all seen them work. The last time they had a match on Collision, it was with the Death Riders, and obviously it wasn't looking good from the start, but they got a little moment to be on TV. All right, Gravity putting in a little bit of work. Now, Beast Mortos, I haven't consistently been seeing him, unfortunately. He's doing like a little back and forth of CMLL and Ring of Honor, but not on a consistent basis with either, to be honest. Um, but It's really interesting to see like if he'll win. If he wins with Sammy to get the tag titles, I hope we could see more of them because I don't know what happened to Roosh. You know, Roosh and Sammy, we were they were a teaming and they barely had any matches, and then all of a sudden we hear that Roosh is injured. So speedy recovery, bruh. I don't know what happened, but I hope he's all right. So now we have Beast Morthos and Sammy. They're going to be teaming up with each other to get the vacated tag titles. So it is vacated at this time. All right, Beast Morthos. I used to have such a big crush on him. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. Y'all know how much I used to love Beast Morthos, but then she took him from me. She took him. Oh my god. Tia said, "I wish Ring of Honor would be on YouTube on a regular basis." Now, I thought about the same thing too. I thought about the same thing. Um, personally, I don't mind spending the $10. Sometimes I'll be like, "Can I get a refund this month or some shit?" But I don't think it would be a bad idea to air it on YouTube. I don't think so. What I would say is that if they think that they're making more money with having Ring of Honor on the app versus YouTube, then I can see why they have the whole paywall behind it or whatever. But if that's not the case, then maybe they could make more money airing it on YouTube. Maybe. Hey RB, how are you? January Sports in the house. Hello. I'm literally just getting home. Literally just getting home. It was 50 degrees and I brought out my jacket. I was just like, look, I'm showing up and showing off my little jacket. I don't think I really need it now that I think about it. A little hoodie would have been fine. All right. Beast Martos with the win. Cutie referee Brandon. I feel like a winner. I feel like a winner having to see you. All right. Well, Beast Martos, he needed this little win before going for the Ring of Honor World title and the Ring of Honor World Tag Team title. So we'll see. The tag team titles, I wouldn't be surprised seeing them win. Because I really do feel like they probably had plans for LFI, and obviously since Roosh was injured, they're probably, I don't know, the plans got squashed for a moment. So we'll see. We'll see. I think if it was on YouTube, I'd get the A. Oh, it'll get the AEW Dark Allegations again. Well, it's basically that. It's basically that. So from what I've seen, it does remind me of it. Damn, I mean, AEW Dark was a long time ago. They're more consistent with storylines on a Ring of Honor. Like AEW Dark, from what I remember, it wasn't like set storylines playing out for long term. It was just like people wrestling. Oh my god, look at that. Oh my god, the boys. When I say I like baby oil on my men, I'm talking about what Preston Vance is doing right now. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. Absolutely love it. Oh, he looks so good. Looks so good. I'm doing all right. I'm not gonna lie. I do feel like I experienced a couple of racist moments today at Walmart, but I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say anything. It is what it is. I wasn't gonna be wilding out in front of my daughter, but I let it go. Let it go. All right, all right. The whole group could use some baby oil. That would be nice. Cause I see Griff been at the gym. He's been at the gym. I see the work that he putting in. Danny Garcia can join them to work out. To work out. Oh, and then speaking of Danny Garcia, so on CMLL on Friday, Danny Garcia and our boy Wheeler Yuta, who we love so much, they teamed up to go for the CMLL tag titles. And they lost. And I was so mad about it that I said, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. So then I went to go lay down to go to bed. And all of a sudden, Fletcher hit me up and he's like, girl, Claudio done won the CMLL World Heavyweight title. I was like, what? What? I got up and went to go watch the match. 'Cause I felt like Death Riders losing kind of set the tone of the night for me. So I was just like, fuck, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. But he won. So congratulations to Claudio Castagnoli for winning the CMLL heavyweight world heavyweight title. Last year, for those of you who don't know, Claudio had won the CMLL Grand Prix. And I guess that set the tone to what it was going to take him to. So here he is with the world title. Absolutely deserved. Cue the rumors of Claudio beating the shit out of Moxley tomorrow night and taking over the Death Rider. So we'll see about that. We'll see about that. Tia said, "Nah, Beast Mortos is Tati's Beast." Look, Tia, have you seen the pictures that he's been posting on Instagram? What have they done to Beast Morto? Wait, what? Dawson Castle versus Ricochet? Whoa, 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 whoa! I was not expecting that for the AEW national title. So when Ricochet last Thursday did say he was going to be at the pay per view, basically saying any of y'all bitches want to step up and go after the AEW national title, hit me up or whatever he said. Honestly, I thought we wasn't gonna find out until um the pay per view. I thought we were gonna keep it a surprise until the pay per view. But Dalton Castle, that's my boy. That's my guy. I'm happy about that. Is it snowing, bro? Texas. I have to pray for it. Pray for snow. So that's basically not happening. Not happening. Since I've been here in Texas, I've only been here for like 2 years, and I only experienced the snow. I want to say 2 days, and it was barely anything. You could barely pick it up and make a snowball. So barely anything. Hello, Red. Hey, hun. How are you? Tia said, "Frat House." I love the Frat House. I don't care what anybody say. They are awesome. They are awesome. And for y'all coming in, the show is on the Ring of Honor YouTube channel. If you want to check it out. All right, Outrunners, Dalton Castle. They've been a trios. I can honestly say I'm not bothered, but I don't think this is the best pairing for them. I don't necessarily care about them being together. Hey Tyler, how are you, babe? Is this a Ring of Honor special event? Yes, that's what they're saying. Because I don't know if they're going to be doing an episode on Thursday. So the pay per view is on Friday. If anybody want to watch the pay per view, it is going to be on the Honor Club app, and it is $9.99. So the pay per view is included with a month subscription of the Honor Club. So you get a whole month with the pay per view. So that's actually not bad at all. And hopefully there's no issues like the last pay per view. Last pay per view, as soon as the damn thing started, there was like what was going on? Like it kept pausing or some shit like that. I think that's what it was. And you could barely tell what was going on because every few seconds it kept pausing. And it only was able to work on Apple devices. I believe it was just Apple devices. And Tony Khan, out of the blue, was just like, fuck it, let's put it on YouTube because nobody could see the show. Only if you had an Apple device, it was just working. I don't know what was up with that, but you know, hopefully they got it together this time around. And it turned out to be a really great show. Main event was Hechicero and Bandito. If y'all did not see that, the pay-per-view may still be on the YouTube channel, on Ring of Honor YouTube channel. Not 100% sure, but they tore it up. They tore it up. Definitely one of my favorite matches this year. The year is almost over. It's almost over. And we'll be having our discussions on best matches of the year. So y'all don't have too much time to make it work. Y'all don't have not too much time. Dark used to be peak. I think Ring of Honor has the same format, but less reach because of the paywall. Plus the pay per view help. Yeah, pay per views are always on point. The weekly shows, though, that's another thing. Y'all know I watch it all. I talk about it, but I can't always recommend it. Because I really feel like when it comes to watching wrestling weekly, you have to be consistent with your stories to grab people. That's what get people coming every week. If you don't have the stories to grab people, the characters to grab people, people are not going to feel invested to watch weekly. All right. Well, Truth is getting his ass whooped, and I don't know how. I don't know how. Jack Jameson is able to wrestle a whole match with the hat on. Like, what we doing? How are we doing this? This is very interesting. How does that happen? I don't know. I I don't know. Very interesting. And his hat is backwards too, so I don't know how he's doing that. But yeah, I haven't seen AW Dark in so long. Now you know what? I thought it was messed up how like we all was watching, and then out of the blue one day they just stopped airing it. I think what they did was they had like the best of AW Dark or some shit like that, and then all of a sudden they didn't show in any other episode. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, where's the damn shows? And then that was it. That was literally it. Robert said, sorry to hear that. Well, y'all know how it is. Look, since I've been in Texas, honestly, well, where I live is pretty diverse. I can't really think of times like I don't think I've personally noticed any racism since I've been here, but today something was just like really weird. Really weird. So I don't know. I don't know. Okay, okay. Was that a tag? Because I don't know if that was a tag, but here's Zoltan. Wow. Why does Tony not book Claudio? Oh, who? Claudio Castagnoli as world champ. Is that who he's talking about, Claudio? Even though he's a world champ everywhere else under Tony, is he talking about Claudio or are you talking about somebody else? Claudio, right? Yes. So anyway, Claudio just won the title on Friday, so he may have the title on him tomorrow, maybe. Honestly, I don't know. I did talk about this the other day in terms of there are a lot of people within AEW that hold titles at other promotions. And I think that you have to be at a specific promotion in order for them to. Well, no, that's not true because see, oh, she has all these titles and she's holding all those titles, and outside of that I think it's only CMLL or any New Japan titles you could wear. Other than that, I don't think, outside of Mercedes, I don't see any other wrestler wearing any other title from any other promotion at AEW. You son of a bitch. I love that. I don't know why. I just love that. I think it's so cute. So cute. Uh-oh. They wrapping it up. They wrapping it up. They put the hat on him. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Dalton, thank you, baby. We do appreciate you. Tia said no. Let me take a look at his IG. Yes, take a look at his IG. I don't know what he doing, but he trying to look cute on Instagram. You see what I'm talking about. Killer Bell said belts being won in different companies is cool. I think it would be better if AW belts got won by wrestlers from partner companies. Well, have they done that? And we're not counting Ring of Honor, obviously not. Have they done that? No, right? They haven't. I think you're right. I don't think they've done that before, and I don't know. Well, with the international title and the national title, I think that would be what is this? December what? They said December 26th. There we go. So the Iron Man match with Nigel and Lee Moriarty is not for the title, which I thought that's what it was going to be at first. So we'll see. But anyway, the national title, international title, I think those titles are around for if somebody from another company to win, because they're not like as important. You know what I mean? So they don't care about letting it go for another person to win. So I think that's what those are there for. Anything else though? Mm, like the world title, I don't see that happening. AW world title, I don't see somebody from another company winning that. And that's interesting because CMLL don't mind doing that. Um, New Japan don't mind doing that. So that I don't see them doing with. what's the other title? Trios title? Maybe they'll do it with the trios. They don't have as much trios as it seemed like at first. Do you know where I can watch Ring of Honor highlights on the Ring of Honor YouTube channel? So, you know, you like this on Tuesdays? It's all right. Tuesdays or Thursdays is fine for me. Don't bother me. Oh, the beautiful Layla Gray, Lord have mercy. All right, all right. Layla Gray, I like her in this pink and black. This is real cute. Real cute. I'm not sure what the main event is, but I think it might be Persephone versus Diamante. I don't remember hearing if they said it. Beast looked like he's having a great time. That's what I'm saying. He do look like he's having fun, but he could have had some fun with me too if he would have, you know, y'all know. I'm heartbroken, so I'm still heartbroken. Crazy year, gone way too fast. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like it's so quick. This year went so quick. I barely remember anything. I barely remember anything at all. And I don't know what it is. And then on top of that, with the time change, like what last month I think it was, that right there has made time feel even weirder. So it's gone really quick. Here we are, already December. Y'all scrambling, looking for little gifts for the kids and family and everything. Look, if you're not a child, you're not getting anything from me. You're not getting anything from me. So I got bills to pay and wrestling shows to go to, and the kids will get a gift from me. That's it. That's it. All right, Trisha Dora, Layla Gray. So Trisha Dora was in the women's pure tournament. Her matches leading up to her match with Diana was really great. But we're talking about Diana Perrazzo here. So Diana Perrazzo did beat her and to move on and advance in the tournament. Layla Gray was announced to be in the tournament, but she actually never got in. So I don't know what that was about, but whatever. Right now for the tournament, we do have Yuka Sakazaki, who's going to be going against Billy Starks on one side of the bracket, and on the other side, it's our girl Queen Amanada to go against Diana Perrazzo. Diana's an amazing wrestler. However, Queen Amanada has been injured for quite some time. So since they did confirm this on Thursday, I'm guessing she's okay to compete in the semifinals of the tournament. That I believe should be this week. They said they were gonna crown the winner of the peer title, women's peer title, on at the pay per view. So we'll see. You said I think Ring of Honor should do pay per views on Honor Club and YouTube. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm okay with them either having the Honor Club or having a YouTube channel. If they're doing it on YouTube, maybe they could possibly make money off of it, more money off of it than on the app, and more people get to watch and more people get to be invested in it. And who knows where it's going to go from there in terms of a TV deal. Come on, Trish. No, look, I love Layla Gray, but Trish Adore, that's my girl. That's my girl. I'm not even worried about it. Do you only watch Ring of Honor and AEW? No, no. Y'all can't see the bags under my eyes and my eyes twitching like crazy from staying up late with New Japan. Oh my god, they're killing me. They're killing me with the tag tournament. No, so I do watch other promotions, CMLL and also Maple Leaf, who don't have anything new as of late, which is interesting. Also watch Mystery Wrestling. DDT Wrestling's a little difficult for me to get into right now because of the whole time difference and everything. It is watching wrestling in Japan is not for the faint of heart. Especially if you like me and you want to watch live, it's insane. They typically come on like 1 to 2 a.m. in the morning. Last night, it came on at 3:30 my time last night, and I was struggling, struggling to watch. Trish, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up, girl. Speaking of best match of the year, just seeing the illest botch of the year, Rhea Ripley's failed Rage's Edge on Charlotte. I did not see that, but I never really hear people say botch of the year. That's interesting. Very interesting. I said, "Yeah, Dark and Elevation was great. My kids loved it. I liked it, and I think it served its purpose. And honestly, there are people who are saying that it's something that they should bring back, but I feel like the reason why they didn't want to commit to this is because one, they were bringing Collision, and then two, Ring of Honor coming on weekly. When are they going to have time to film all this? You know, if you've never been to AEW shows, typically more often than not, most of the tapings for Ring of Honor take place at a collision. So they'll do some before the show and they'll do most of it after the show because they got a little bit more time. Dynamite, they do it, but then you have to think about this. They also had Rampage at that time too. So then after they did Dynamite, then they would have to film Rampage after the show. And then I've been to some tapings where they did Rampage after Dynamite, and then they're just like, stick around for Ring of Honor. And then people just like, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. The kids gotta go to bed. You know what I mean? So personally, I got no problem with it. If my kid go to bed late, they go to bed late. I'm staying out the show until they fold up that ring. But most people can't. So this is a lot for them to take. A lot for them to take. So I get it. I get it. Um, but they could do more with Ring of Honor if you ask me. A lot more. Trish, is that for that? Oh, all right. That was a two. All right. What's going on here with this back and forth? What is Layla's finisher? I actually don't know. What? Did she just beat my girl? Um, we'll see. We'll see what happened at the pay per view. So, Sky Flight, which is um fine as Scorpio Sky and Top Flight, they're going to be teaming up to go against. Hold on, hold on. Okay, so the women's pure tournament, they're gonna do the finals. So I'm guessing they'll still have an episode on Thursday. They had to have another episode if they're going to have the last two semifinal matches, so that they can have the two girls for the finals. So I'll let y'all know about Thursday because I don't know. They're not saying anything. Um, well, here's the Dark Order. He got a little glue on that hat. That's what I was thinking. Like, how are you keeping the hat on and you're wrestling a whole match with it? Like, how? All right, Dark Order. I love these purple jackets that they have on. They're cute, really cute. This is my style. It's my style. Oh, you were talking about Claudio? Yeah. So Claudio, to be honest, this is the second time that Claudio was a world champion, which is crazy to me. Because Tony Khan, what are we waiting on? We're putting that world title on Claudio Castagnoli. So y'all know, he had the Ring of Honor world title, so that was the first. Y'all can get. That's what I be telling y'all. Stop talking about this WWE bullshit. WWE had Claudio Castagnoli, and they ruined him. I can. How y'all have like Claudio over there and not put a world title on him? So, they when he came to AEW, I was really happy about it. But I kind of had my little reservations on it because I was just like, look, I don't want it to be the same bullshit. Cause like y'all look at Claudio, this is a world-class athlete. We're not even talking about just wrestler, we're talking about world-class athlete. Somebody who should be holding world titles and sitting at the tippy top of your company. And I wasn't sure what directions that they were gonna go with Claudio. He got the Ring of Honor world title, so that I was okay with, and with his history of Ring of Honor, I was like, all right, you know what, he deserved that. He deserved that. But the AEW world title, if that man retired and he never had it, Tony Khan, I'm pulling up on you. I'm pulling up on you. All right. Even the purple Kinesio tape to match with the fit. That makes sense. That makes sense. A lot of times I feel like, Kinesio tape is for fashion. For fashion. Or it's like a big target to say, hey, look, this is where I'm hurting. Can you hit me right here? It works out. But why has Claudio not with the A had not won the A? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And that's the thing too, because look how long they took to put it on Danielson, and they took way too long to put it on Danielson. Moxley had it three times in one time interim, and I love Moxley or whatever. He a workhorse, but I would have probably considered Claudio Castagnoli before putting it back on Moxley again. And then Danielson, I feel like should have had the title sooner than when he had it. It was definitely at that point where it's just like, okay, we know he's not doing that well. He's gonna be retiring or semi-retiring soon. We got to put the title on him because if you ask me, if it wasn't for Danielson literally about to retire or take time off or whatever the hell you're doing right now, I think the title would have stayed on Swerve a little bit longer. I would have kept it on him a little bit longer, but that's how it played out. And I do feel like they took some time to put it on Danielson. And well, who is this one right here? What's his name? I like how them trunks is on him. One with the beard. I do feel like Moxie, would I put a title on him again? No. No, we're good. We're good. That's why I was so surprised about him being the Continental Classic. I was so surprised about it because I was just like if you really think about it, the Continental Classic, like what's the purpose of it? Like, so anybody can be on it, or is it only top guys that can be on it? So how you just had the world title and you are thrown into the Continental Classic? Something about it feels like it should be it, I don't know. I don't know if I would necessarily consider top guys to be in it. Claudio's in it for the third time. I don't even believe he's going to win at this point. Well, no, I don't think he's going to win. I don't think he's going to win. Not after him winning the CMLL title the other day. So I don't see him winning. All right. Evil Udo looking to get in. All right, here you go. OMG Dalton versus Ricochet. That's gonna be very interesting. I think this is gonna be Dalton's first singles match since he's been back. I believe it will be his first singles match. So we'll see how he does. Ricochet, he's no slacker. He's gonna go out there and make Dalton sweat for sure. All right, Evil Uno, we see you. You may have to watch Final Battle. The card looks really good. The card looks good. And I always tell people, I said, look, they might not grab you on a weekly basis, but the pay-per-views are always on point. Always on point. So, like I said, I don't know if the Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view is still on the Ring of Honor channel. If it is, go ahead and check it out and see because Bandito and actually, so it is still on there. I just checked. So it was Ring of Honor Dead Before Dishonor. That was back in August. So if anybody want to go back and take a look at that pay-per-view, it was a really good show. All right, Dark Order, they got a little win. I can't necessarily say I'm like happy for them because like they're not winning where it matters. Not where it matters. Okay, Layla. Oh, all right, all right. Well, damn, the girls look good. All right. Zeta Steel. I know who she is. I think she's been on Ring of Honor, but I definitely seen her in the Indies. All right, they're pushing Layla to something. All right, all right. All right, so we're gonna get Mercedes versus Red Velvet, the rematch. The rematch. Now look, I don't know about Red getting the title back on Friday. I feel like it's so not that it's so soon. Well, maybe it is because it's soon. I would have loved to see Mercedes and um. All right, tag titles. All right. I would have loved to see Mercedes and Red had a feud. I know they had a couple of little things to say about each other on Instagram, but that's not a feud. What is that? Anybody can say anything they want on Instagram or on X. That's not a feud. So I would have loved to see something play out. Like I feel like with Mercedes and her winning titles and everything, like there should be a bigger payout out of it. Not like, oh well, she got all these titles, but like her having main event. All right, all right. Here's Diamante. With Mercedes having these titles, she should be getting into feuds with people. So that's what I want to see. So that's a little bit of a missed opportunity right there that they could have been doing with Red Velvet if they wanted to help build her with Mercedes. He said, "How TNA got TV deals before a Ring of Honor deal makes no sense." I don't know, but congrats to TNA for getting the deal. Ring of Honor specifically, I think Tony Khan is looking to get the deal from where he wants to get the deal from. So it's not like, honestly, I don't know, but like there might be offers from other places. And I'm thinking he wants to keep, my God, Persephone. Wow. Well, how somebody look good like that? Damn. I just love her aura. She just has it. She just has it. Um wow. Wow. Well, for those of y'all who haven't been keeping up, Persephone will be going against Athena on Friday for the Ring of Honor Women's title. Diamante has just joined I guess a little minion club that Athena has. So she's just joined. And it's so weird because she tried to join earlier this year and it seemed like Athena had said yes, and then all of a sudden they just dropped that whole storyline and then they brought it back last week. I don't know what that was about, but whatever. She's in the group now with Billy and Athena and Lexi and whatever. So she's with them, and they attacked Persephone last week. So here's a match for Persephone, do a little something something before she has her match with Athena on Friday. Did Tati sound like you were Grinch mode towards us grown folks? What did we do? Well, um, typically I honestly don't celebrate Christmas, so I already don't care about Christmas. But I just feel like if I'm gonna be giving gifts, let the kids get it. You got good report cards, you got good grades. All right, I'll get you something. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. I ain't getting no gifts from nobody. All right. Well, Diamante, we haven't seen too much of lately. We need more Layla on Collision. At least hard. How hard is it to free setup match or two? I agree. Layla, she's with us. Well, you know what? Now that you said that, she's with Skyflight. Skyflight hasn't really been taking wins on Collision either. So I don't know. See, this is the thing. One of the reasons why I find Ring of Honor a little hard to recommend is because the company, I feel like, wants you to separate Ring of Honor from AEW, but then they also, you know, have them as two things in one, if that makes sense. So the booking is not consistent. Somebody who's constantly winning a Ring of Honor would be constantly losing on Collision. And that I feel like doesn't make sense. Because anybody who's watching Ring of Honor are definitely watching AEW as well. So we're seeing the people who are, looking badass on Ring of Honor and winning a lot. Then they go on Collision. It's just L's after L's after L's. So I don't know, like, even if they did put Layla, if she'd be winning a lot based on the track record of the entire group of Skyflight. So I don't know how that would work out, long term speaking. And it's not her too. Like, if you guys know Blake Christian, Blake is amazing. Blake Lee Johnson, they've been killing it as a tag team in Ring of Honor, and somehow, some way, they didn't even get an opportunity to go for the tag titles, which is crazy to me. I don't know, but whenever you see Blake and Lee Johnson on like a Dynamite or Collision, they're always losing, but they look so strong on Ring of Honor. So that right there might push some people away in terms of getting into it. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that matters to some of y'all. Tia said, I was entertained. Great match. Give Claudio the C2. I'll be happy. Now, look, Claudio, if Claudio win, I'm okay. Okay, I'm okay with him winning. I just don't know if they will. The only reason why I'm saying I don't believe he would win is because now they have the CMLL world title. I feel like he will be a little bit more involved with that. And for him to have that and also the international, not international, what title is this again? Continental title. You know, I don't know if that might be, I don't want to say he can't handle it because it is Claudio that we're talking about, but like this is the problem when it comes to having titles from different promotions. I don't know how active he will be with both of these titles. Persephone Diamante is not looking good. Not looking good. She's so cute. Both of these girls are so cute, real cute. So you talking my talk, Tati? Yes, I think Claudio is very, very talented. And I know what y'all gonna say. For those of you who kind of don't see it for him, y'all gonna say, "Oh, he's not great at doing promos." And I do feel like he has improved. If y'all go back and watch him with the Ring of Honor World Title, he has improved. When it came to the promos, I know with him being part of Death Riders, he has not been able to talk as much because you have Moxley who does most of the talking, and once in a while you hear from everybody, but not like deep promos from each member of the Dark Death Riders. So I would love to see maybe a singles titles from AEW before the world title from Claudio, so people can see how well he does as a champion. All right, all right. Oh, put on the rope, put on the rope. Diamante is not happy about this. Not happy about it. Has Claudio had a crack at the TNT title? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that he has. No. I'm thinking the only thing that he's had a chance to go for is an international title, but TNT, I don't believe so. I don't believe so. And an international title would be a great title for Claudio to have because, like, y'all could imagine Claudio going internationally in wrestling. This ain't. Um, I mean, the finisher, tied. It could have. I don't know. We'll see what she does at the pay per view with Athena. She's gonna have to do a little bit more than a moonsault. Oh, I'm champion. All right, all right. There we go. There we go. Athena in the building. She Persephone, you better be careful. Diamante probably get up. Billy or somebody probably attack her. Oh well, Diamante, she tried. She tried. A little bit of a distraction so that Athena could go on in there. Uh-oh. I don't know. I don't see I don't see Persephone winning on Friday. I mean, would I be mad? Would I be mad? I wouldn't be mad, but Athena, Final Battle will make her champion for 3 years, you guys. 3 years. So I know some people are probably like, girl, 3 years. Let's get that title to somebody else. I mean, the title look good in her hand though. It does look good in Persephone's hand. However, with 3 years coming up, I don't want Athena to lose to someone that she's not feuding with. Like I want to see like a feud. Okay, they said Thursday, so there is a show on Thursday. I guess I don't know. All right, so there's a show on Thursday, so we'll see how things play out. But anyway, I would love to see her lose to somebody who we know can definitely be up there. Queen Aminata is not doing anything. Oh my god. Anyway, we'll see. Randy's in the house said, "Hey Tati, if you were a part writer in Ring of Honor, who would you be packaged?" I don't think anybody specifically. I think I would just change the format of the show. I would change a lot of things to just make it interesting. So I wouldn't necessarily say anybody in particular. We gotta do things differently with Ring of Honor to begin with. A lot of things. Um, hold on. Who is in the chat? Tia, is Tia in the chat? I need my security in the chat. I don't know what that is down there. Let's see. It said Tati and also Claudio beats. Oh yes, the CMLL. Yes, yes, I did see that. I did see that. That was the match is alright, but we're moving on. We're moving on to Claudio as champion. He said, I miss Stu. Bring back Stu to the Dark Order. So Stu, he does indies. He right now has the Mystery Wrestling Championship, and he's a heel over there. I don't know if you guys watch Mystery Wrestling, but he has a group. Oh my god, he has a group called No Nonsense, and it's him. Damn, I forgot that other guy name. He just had a tag match with him on the other day, and Cruel. So they're in this group where they don't want people to have fun, and if you're having fun, they'll beat the shit out of you. I don't know. It sounds lame when I say it, but it works. It works. Trust me, it works. But he's great. He's great. Oh, and also he's in dang, what's it again? Maple Leaf as well. So if anybody want to see Stu Grayson, that's where he's at. You said the boys got some heat over in Mexico and CMLL. Yes, right. CMLL fans are watching the AEW, so they know who to hate. They know who to hate. I will turn Gran Guerrero heel on Ring of Honor and make him and them and John Moxley on Ring of Honor. John Moxley, well, I was gonna say John Moxley will probably never be on Ring of Honor, but he's been there to support Wheeler Yuta. So he's been there for that. But a match, probably not. He said, "What the fuck did Layla get changed?" I guess so, pretty quickly. The show was taped, so I don't know. They sometimes they do matches like on one show, and then the next show they put some more matches. I don't know. I don't know. He said, "I need Uno on Dynamite every week." We can make some room on Collision. How about that? How about that? I love Evil Uno, but what we throwing him into on Dynamite? Like, what story? I don't know. Do you watch AEW picture in picture and full screen? Oh, full screen. Full screen. When I'm doing a chat with you guys and I had to I just put them side by side so I could see both at the same time. But like if I'm watching wrestling outside of doing live streams, oh, full screen. Full screen. I don't like I don't like watching stuff in picture, honestly. I don't. Yes, Zeta is, well, I don't know if she's still in the WWE ID program. She said something the other day about thank you for the opportunity or whatever. She said that like a week ago, something like that. So I guess she's not over there anymore. Everybody's wondering how Layla changed so quickly. He said, "Damn, Ring of Honor quietly cooking over here. I like. It's not bad. It's not bad. I promise you, it's not bad. I just feel like sometimes it's hard to keep up with on a consistent basis, because like you see how we're seeing Layla tonight, and it seems like they're pushing her. We'll probably won't even see her in another like 2 or 3 weeks. So it's been like that for some people, and I don't know why. This is what I feel like they should dedicate time to, do tapings and have people. Um, hold on, Tia. There was something. Yes, let me address this comment right now. Who the hell is this? Ivory right to censor. All right, it's a troll. It's a troll. Apparently, he said it's really rude of you to be wearing your clothes so tight, encouraging adolescents to look at your breasts and hips. It's time for a change. Well, there you go. You're not the first person to ever complain about that. I'm wearing a sweater today, you guys. It's so funny you say that, because before I started the stream, my daughter was like, "Mom, you're wearing that?" She knows what I like to wear when I do this or whatever. But it's cold. It's cold. And yes, I do have men who hit me up and say, "Hey, you're not wearing enough clothes. Like, you should cover up and shit." And I'd be like, "Yo, if you don't, if you see something, if you gay or whatever, then don't watch my shit. Like, I don't know what y'all complaining about. I don't know what y'all complaining about. Don't hit me up on Instagram. Don't hit me up in my comments on YouTube complaining about my clothes. I buy my shit. I wear whatever the hell I want. So it's whatever. Thanks for watching though. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me see. Where were we at? Do, 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 do. Mercedes Martinez needs to return and pair with Persephone. That would be dope tag team. Now, Mercedes, now look, what I was saying was I would have loved for Mercedes to be the person that would have had the match with Athena at Final Battle, because Athena beat Mercedes for that title about 3 years ago. And, Athena has been holding that title ever since. So it would have been real cool to see that full circle moment. I don't want to say maybe Mercedes winning, because she hasn't really been on the show consistently. I know Mercedes, she has a promotion in, I want to say New York. If it's not New York, then it's like New Jersey, something like that. Um, so I know she's been doing that. And she seemed, to me, I'm not 100% sure. It seemed like she retired. It was her birthday like a month ago, and the way she talked about her career, it sounded like she was retiring. I'm not 100% sure if that's the case, but I would have loved to see her on Ring of Honor, because I always love her energy. And I think like even teaming with Persephone would have been real cool. Real cool. She would have had to ditch Diamante, obviously, but it would have been real cool to see them together. My dream wife Persephone on deck. Yeah, I love her. Look, I love her too. I love her too. But she is locked down by, damn, what's his name? The one from CMLL. Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember his name. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. She locked down though. Do said shit. I know it's already because the girl was from WWE program. Lots of rumors about her. Yeah, so I've seen her live at shows. So I know she's a great wrestler, and I believe I have seen her in Ring of Honor. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think she's under the WWE ID program anymore. From what I saw, she posted the other day. So I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, Sandman, hey hun, how are you? Killer Red says, see, look at that. Perfect wrestling and selling from Persephone. No one botched yet. Persephone, I think, is a great wrestler. So majority of the matches that I've seen her in were like multi-men matches. So I barely seen any one-on-one matches with her. Y'all know Athena's not gonna be playing with her at all on Friday. So I want to see how well she does with Athena. Let's see. Henny God said, "No, I disagree. Claudio is ready for the world title now. Between Ring of Honor and WWE, enough tape to know better." Um, well, would I put the world title on him? I would. But I don't think people are convinced. Like the other day, I was asking about Claudio, and more people said that they rather, like, if they kick out Moxley from the group, that it should be Pac to be leader of Death Riders, because Claudio sucks at promos. So if you feel like a wrestler like Claudio sucks at promos, then how y'all gonna feel about him as a world champion? He's gonna have to hold his own like everyone else who has held his title. And I think some people need to be convinced. So if he had a singles run with a title, I think more people will be convinced in terms of him being a champion. But then again, he could still win the world title and show y'all that he's capable of being a champion. So I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't know. He said, okay, Persephone got my attention. Yes, Persephone, great wrestler, has the look. We'll see where it goes. I don't know about her winning though. I don't know about that. We'll see. Tia said, I'm so excited for Persephone and Athena. I agree. I agree. I this might come like second to last. So I want to say majority of Athena's matches as champion has, if it wasn't majority, then like what, half of them has been main events on the pay-per-views. And since Banditos has had the title, Bandito, he's been doing the main events. So we'll see about it this time. I think main event will still be for the Ring of Honor World title. Tony Khan dual contract for Persephone right now. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Henny said, Tati, wear what you want. Yes, wear what you want. I told you guys, like, if I could wear even less than what I do, then I would. I would. But y'all know it is YouTube. Y'all know how it is. Y'all know how it is. Y'all know how it is. I just feel like it's so weird because it's like, I don't know what people are complaining about. I've heard people say things like, "Oh, I pray for you" and all that shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, y'all are so weird. Like, this is not a gospel channel. This is a wrestling channel. And if I'm gonna be on camera, I wear whatever the hell I want to wear. If it bothers you, don't watch. Don't watch. Tony Storm, Mina Shirakawa versus Marina Shafir, Megan Bain, Holiday Death Match for the AEW Women's Tag Tournament. Yes, so tomorrow we'll be having that match. I don't, is the other girls tag match tomorrow too, or is it just this one? I gotta see the card for tomorrow. But please, please, Megan and Marina for the win. There's no other option. Randy said, Tati, you think this Friday Adam Priest turn on Jay Lethal? Oh my God. Why are you saying that? Now you're making me think that. Um, that's a good point because I wasn't thinking that. They did have a little argument because they lost that collision. But like I said, as a Death Riders, they were gonna get their ass whooped. They knew that. Maybe they might see Jay Lethal to be the weak link in their trios and just be like, fuck it, me and Tommy, we're gonna be tagging and yo ass out the group. I would not be surprised about that. But that's a good point. Good point. Henny got said, Tati, they just mad because they can't put that ish on. Well, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? I don't know. Some of y'all, I don't know. If you get pussy, like your life will be better. Trust me. Trust me. Randy said, Tati, one more thing. Is Speedball Mike going to join the Mullet Club and leave Kevin Knight? I don't know about that. Oh my god. Ty says she's done with WEID. Okay, well then we'll see where it goes. I like her. She's great. Let's see. Oh, Jay Millie, hey hun, how are you? Yeah, so they were just on. It's on the YouTube channel if you want to watch the playback, Jay Millie. The show that just had. Oh, Pac injury prone. Oh. Well, he's all right now. He's all right now. Look, I do feel like, dang, I don't know. If it was up to me in terms of a leader, if they need a new leader, it would be Claudio. I think Claudio definitely. I mean, I do like Pac, and I wouldn't be mad either way. But I think if Claudio had that role of being the leader, and then from there, um, you know, people see how he is as a not champion, as a leader, and that'll probably also convince them to say, "Hey, you know what? Let's see how he does as a world champion." So we'll see. Right now, we do have Joe with the title. I don't know where it's going. I don't know where it's going. I'm thinking Joe and Hangman rematch at some point. Oh, they did just announce, I think yesterday, Revolution. So anybody who wants to go there, they had select tickets out for a pre-sale today. And yes, it's going to be in Los Angeles again, and that's going to be on March 18th. So World's End, last pay per view of the year, and then the first pay per view of next year will be on March 15th and Revolution. So we have a lot of time for Joe, I think, to be champion. I don't see him losing the title. I feel like the whole thing with Eddie just gonna happen when they said it was again. I think next Wednesday with Eddie and Joe, and then from there, I think I could be wrong. It's gonna be Ops going against maybe Eddie, Swerve, and Hangman at World's End. Y'all probably don't care about that, but I feel like that's the route that they're going. I feel like that's the route that they're going for the pay per view. But we'll see. We'll see. Um, Jefferson is here said, Tati, how do you feel about Beautiful Women 2.0 with Zeta and Miss Gray with Madison Rain as a manager? I thought about it in my head. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. That'd be cool to see the girls teaming up to have their own little group. Who would you like to see Claudio? Oh, face with a title? Oh, well, you know that you say that. He can, I guess he'll put that on the line over in AW, right? He could do that. Yes, Revolution is in LA, Henny God. So they had like I think today they had a pre-sale for VIP only, and I think there's another pre-sale. I think it's on Thursday. This Thursday, and then next Monday is general admission, so anybody can be able to pick up their tickets. But if you want to get a ticket now this week, you do need a special code for that if you're looking to go to Revolution. What was I saying? Yeah, so CMLL title, I believe that they probably would put it on the line on AEW, which would be cool. Like I'll be cool with that. I don't know. Actually, no. Never mind. Because I thought that after Claudia won, that I feel like don't be surprised. But if y'all hear, damn, what's the name? Mystico's group. I forgot the name of their group again. But Mystico is in a trios, with Neon and damn, what's his name again? Whatever, y'all. My brain's a little fried right now. He has a trios titles right now. So if he drops those trios titles, then y'all know who's gonna win. He'll be next. I'm thinking Mystico will be the next person to win the CMLL heavyweight championship. So that I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I've been seeing Mystico, incorporated on the AEW as well. We'll see what happens at the Continental Classic first. I don't think Claudio's winning. But like I said, if Mystico dropped the trio titles, then he's next for sure. I believe that. Randy said, Tati, put on new clothes. You showing too much secret. What happened to the days when people need to mind their business? Well, look, you know what I've realized is like whenever you come on camera to do anything, people just feel like, hey, I have the right to be in your business. And it's just like, no, you don't. No, you don't. So yes, Revolution. They do have. That's the next pay per view. I don't know if anybody wants to go to Worlds End. Worlds End. Ooh, where's that at again? Chicago or somewhere in that area. And then Final Battle. That's on Friday, and that's in Ohio. It's taking place at a convention called GalaxyCon. I don't know if y'all know about it, but they've done this before, where they've had shows at the convention. So that's what they're doing on Friday. So if anybody want to go over there, they do have a few more tickets left for that show. Jamie Lee said, called it Eddie versus Joe. Not at the pay per view though. I knew they wasn't gonna take it to the pay per view. I knew it. I knew it. That Eddie Kingston promo on Collision was fire. Now Eddie Kingston, I always love his energy. He goes out there and he is always real. Like you don't feel like you're just watching wrestling and somebody's getting into character. Like you feel like you're hearing a real person doing a promo. Like exactly what he would say on the street to somebody is what he's saying on the mic. And I do appreciate that. Now, whoever it was that was holding on to the button to bleep all that shit out. I know they were just sweating back there, like, oh my God, is he gonna drop another F bomb? Is he gonna drop another F bomb? Y'all know how it is. No filter with Eddie Kingston. But I'm not surprised that they didn't take it one on one with Eddie and Joe. I don't think that's a real story. There's always like little stories within the big story. Um and I don't think it's Eddie. I still think that whatever it is, it's regarding Swerve and Hangman. But we'll see. We'll see. Oh, and also, who likes Swerve new theme song? I I can't find that shit anywhere. I People are posting like the version of it from the pay-per-view, but I haven't found it. If anybody know where it's at, let me know because I want to hear the whole thing. Honestly, I thought he would have never changed his theme song because I feel like it fit him 100%, whether if he would have been a heel or a baby face. Um, Oh, Tyler, they just announced yesterday that they're going to be doing a show in January in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. So if y'all want, it's January. I think is it a collision? It's something, one of them. But yes, they just announced that yesterday. So go on the AEW website and for the upcoming events, you'll see the one for Arizona. I don't know if those tickets are on sale yet, but they're going back over there next month. Let's see. TK promoting AEW Dynamite during Survivor Series was great. Did he really? What happened? What? What happened? It was a commercial. Hold on. I don't have ESPN, so I don't know. So what was it? I didn't hear about that. Hey, wherever the wrestling fans are at, you want more wrestling fans to go see what you got going on, you got to push your ad. I agree. Randy says Claudia about to pull a Mercedes will be brilliant. Take Ricochet's title next. Oh no, way too soon. Way too soon. I wanted Ricochet to win that title. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a little underwhelmed about the gauntlet match, but I wanted him to win. So I want to see what he's gonna do. I want to see what he's gonna do as champion. He did say that he will be going to other promotions to defend the title. So let me see him cook for a little bit before, we talk about what's next. Claudio, the new belt collector, we'll see. We'll see. Oh, now Arena and Chi Town. Okay. Well, there you go. So they got that going. New Japan got their pay-per-view in February. New Beginnings, if anybody wanna see that. Damn, they had so here's the thing. They did have like a Black Friday code. I forgot how many percent off they took off the tickets or whatever. I don't know if they have any other deals or whatever, but y'all can go ahead and check it out and see if there's any Cyber Week deals or whatever on these things. I'm not sure. Jamie Lee said I brought it up on Leo stream last night about Bailey and AW. What do you think about heel Bailey with Etier and Stoke? um, I I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that with FTR and Stokely. Yeah, I can see that working out. Don't put no titles on her, and yeah, I'm cool. We are full, y'all know that, but I wouldn't put any titles on her. Definitely not. But I think it probably would work out with FTR and Stokely. That would be interesting. I think the story for Eddie versus Joe is parental rights over Hook. Um, so what was interesting is that Eddie was saying how he didn't want to address the situation with Hook, and I think he said on Saturday something about, oh, that's still my boy or whatever. And I'm like, why are you saying that? Like, are you just trying to dismiss the whole thing and just kind of get past the whole Hook thing so you can just focus on Samoa Joe? Like, I don't understand why he's like completely like turning a blind eye to it. Maybe something will come out of it later, but like if you think about it, this was literally Hook lying to Eddie about not being in the ops and trying to be under the wing of Eddie. And really, he knew that that wasn't the case. So he lied to you. So what you mean that's your boy? I don't know. It's kind of weird. He said, I actually really like it. It grows on you. He had billboards put up during the show. Oh, during the week on the show. Well, look, marketing. That's how you market. You want people to show interest in your wrestling show. Well, put up your little signs, your billboards, or whatever you got near where there's going to be another wrestling show. I think that works out. People are going to see it. Obviously, people are talking about it, and that's what marketing is about. You do something to get people talking, and they did. So I'm pretty sure somebody who saw that was over there was just like, all right, let me check out AEW. Like, if you love wrestling, it really wouldn't matter. It really wouldn't matter, and you'll end up enjoying wrestling wherever it's at. Now, you don't have to love it, but like if the wrestling is what you're looking for, you'll find matches that you'll like on Ring of Honor or AEW, CMLL, New Japan. Like you would find that if you love wrestling. Now, if you're watching for other things or if you're watching because a lot of people they tell me, well, I don't watch other promotions because I've been watching WWE my whole life. And I was like, so have I. Like, what does that got to do with anything? Like, if you love wrestling, you can enjoy wrestling at other promotions. Like Triple H is not putting money in your pockets. TKO is not putting money in your pockets and telling you not to support other promotions. Like I don't get that logic from wrestling fans. I don't get that. If you say that I like WWE and I don't want to watch anything else, I think that's fine to say too. Like there's no problem with that. That's your thing, then that's fine. But like tearing down other promotions because you only want to support one promotion, I think is bullshit. I think it's bullshit. I don't like people, if y'all can come in the chat and say your opinions about things and that's fine because that's what I want to hear. I want to hear people's opinions. Like don't come here and try to agree with everything I say. You don't have to. Say something even if it's different than my own and we'll talk about it. I think that's cool to hear that we're all watching the same thing but have different perspective on the same thing that we're watching. But like a lot of people don't watch and they just literally just have horrible things to say about like AEW just because it's cool, which is so weird. If you don't want to watch, that is fine. I just don't get the negativity. The Fact Survivor series was horrible. Help. What the fuck? I have not heard the best things about it. I think Tony Khan doing Blood and Guts before Survivor Series is actually a really good thing because people can watch. I think all promotions watch each other, or to an extent, maybe not Tony Khan sitting down and watching WWE. Maybe he got other people within AEW who are watching and they're discussing like what's going on. But I feel like having Blood and Guts come on, what is it, like 2 weeks before Survivor Series really work out because now people really get a chance to see the difference. So even before Survivor Series come on, people are just like, well, they're not going to be able to do better than what we saw at Blood and Guts like the other day, and that right there, having it so fresh in your memory because Blood and Guts was just days before. Now you really get a chance to see the difference between what the girls and the guys are going to offer in War Games matches. And like, this is no shade towards the wrestlers and WWE because I do love them, but what they're doing is different than what you would see at Blood and Guts. Completely different, Um, it's not them per se. The company don't want them to do what you guys would typically see at a Blood and Guts match, and not even just Blood and Guts, but what you would typically see in AEW. I do feel like even with the blood and everything that you see in AEW, they don't come off like they're not family friendly. I don't think like I've never watched AEW and felt like my daughter can't watch this. I've never felt that way. And maybe I'm a little biased because I've been watching wrestling since I was a little girl myself. So, but I've never watched something and felt like, oh no, my child can't watch this. Maybe like DDT wrestling. If I'm watching that, my daughter, there's no way she'll be watching that because they're definitely not family friendly. Now, in comparison to WWE, yes, they got sponsors, but then AEW got sponsors too. Like, I mean, like they know for a fact like they got to be really cookie cutter about certain things. You know what I mean? And they just feel like we can't have too much of this to upset our sponsors. That's pretty much what it is. AEW, I'm guessing the sponsors don't give a fuck about any of that shit. Any of the people who are showing their ads or supporting AEW, they don't care. They know exactly what they're getting themselves into when it comes to an AEW show, you know? So like what WWE does, I don't find that to be any more family friendlier than what, you know, AEW is doing. So it really depends. Really depends. What he said, we know who had an actual word games. The WWE version is just Playhouse. Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same. So, like I said, you know, Blood and Guts coming on right before that, especially with the women, what the women did too. Like now, they probably changed the perspective of people in terms of how they see women in cage matches. So, if you saw, you know, Blood and Guts, and then you saw War Games, and you're just like, no. And I saw a poll where they were like, well, which one was better? The women's Blood and Guts or the women's War Games? And it was like 70% War Games match for the women. And I was like, I ain't see that. And I know that's not true. I ain't see it. And I know it's not true. Because I thought the women's Blood and Guts match was better than the men's. I really did. Maybe part of it was because it was the first time that they did it. You know, that could be it too. But I thought that they did an amazing job. So if you saw Blood and Guts first, you're not gonna feel impressed. I was surprised to know that some people who only started watching WWE a few years ago, I'm not saying that they shouldn't watch, but it explains why they can't see the decline over the year. Oh, that is true. So if you had started watching I don't know, between 10 to 8 years ago, you're probably not gonna see it. If you watch way before that, you definitely see the decline. um you know, their perspective on it, like I can't necessarily say like how they feel about it is wrong or whatever, because you know, you want something and you feel how you want to feel for it, but like how it has been lately versus like when we were kids, it's two different things. It's two different things. And you know, sometimes I wonder like how are they still, you know, pushing it now that they have, you know, now that they're under TKO and the prices has gone up, which is the craziest thing to me. Like the prices, like the one thing I can say, like like mm, and you know, the 2010s and things like that, I used to just be like, call up my buddies, y'all want to go see Raw, y'all want to go to SmackDown, and we would go that same day. We wasn't worried about, oh, do we have enough money or anything like that. We would literally just go that same day, get great seats, have a great time, and we weren't worried about the money because it was affordable. You can literally just get up with your family, you can literally get up with your friends and go to the show. And it's not like that anymore. You know, that's definitely going to push fans away because you're just like, damn, this is something that I grew up doing with my family as a child. And I want to do this with my family now that I have children, and you can't afford it. You can't afford it, you know? And yeah, everybody have their own budgets, but like their main audience are just working class people who, you know, middle America people, if we're talking just Americans, like these people, they don't have all that much money, but they're out there supporting your brand. They're going to your shows and they're bringing their families along. And now it's just a completely different thing in terms of financially, you know? And I don't have to sell a kidney to go to WrestleMania. I shouldn't have to do all that. I shouldn't have to. And, you know, a couple of months ago, I was going through a box, and this is before like tickets became like digital. I used to save all my ticket stubs and I still have so many of them over the years. But I was looking at the prices and I was like, yo, I can't even believe it. I can't even believe how much the prices have changed. They really have changed, you know. When I tell people, you know, go to an AEW show, there people say, "Oh, their shows is cheap, ha ha ha," and I'm like, "What's so funny about that, bitch? You can afford it. You can actually afford to go, and you will have fun." You know, it is insane. It is insane to see like AW. I will say they have gone up the pay per view prices, yes, and they do have VIP packages that they started doing this year. So you'll see the difference in those prices. You'll see it. Um, like I got 4 tickets for Collision in January, and the front row, if you didn't want to do any extras like VIPs and stuff like that, um, front row was 215. 215 to be in the front row, smelling the sweat off Kenny Omega for 215. That is not bad. That is not bad. And I think the ticket fee was, I think it was $15 for something like that, $10 or $15 for the ticket fee. And this is from the venue. The venue is selling the tickets, not Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster would have took my whole damn wallet if I had to buy from them. And I also tell people too, like WWE, I think they only do the tickets with Ticketmaster. From what I can remember, I've never actually bought from a venue. I think it's always been Ticketmaster. If I'm wrong, let me know. But AEW, not always, but sometimes the venue itself sells the tickets and you don't have to worry about Ticketmaster fees. Sometimes there's no tax, but they have what is called a ticket fee, something like that, where is a set price per ticket. So let's say you got you got 215 for front row, and then your ticket fee is $15. So now you pay 230 and that's it. And that right there is more affordable to do. They also have deals where it's like 4 pack. I've never bought it, so I don't know what the price is looking like for those because I always go to shows by myself. But they also have that. WWE they do that too, but it's still not affordable. It's still not affordable if you're trying to go with with your friends and family. You know, it's insane. What? Who died? Oh, rest in peace, Larry the dog. Oh my god, the dog. Larry was a real one. Larry was a real one. Y'all know what he went through that night at All Out. Y'all know what he went through. Damn, how old was Larry? I know they got him from a like a shelter or some kind of program or whatever. So I don't know how old he was when they got him, but Larry has become an icon. Larry got merch and all that shit, and making more money than the rest of us. Y'all know, obviously, people loved Larry, and he'll be missed. He really will be missed. C Fluid, hey hon, how are you? Tia said, I started to watch wrestling since WrestleMania 40, and now I watch other promotions. Just watching the E is not for me. Right. I feel like if you like wrestling, give other promotions a chance. And I'm not even saying watch every episode, but like just to see how wrestling look different at different promotions. They don't all look the same. When I decided to cover New Japan, I was like, yo, I don't know if I can convince people to watch it because it's not the same vibe as watching wrestling in the States. And not only that, when I started covering New Japan, the vibe fell off. All right. Not to discourage anybody from watching, but it wasn't the same like having a lot of their bigger names. Like, it wasn't like, like 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19. They didn't have those same people. Um, so I thought, all right, I kind of convinced myself to, do New Japan on my channel because I was like, I think people would enjoy the matches and slowly get into the stories because the matches I was preferring matches on New Japan over matches on AEW that I was watching all their shows. I was like, AEW, stories are there, whatever, the characters are there, but New Japan had better quality matches. And that's why I said, like, every promotion, if you don't have to stick with watching, but if you watch different promotions, you can see how different they are. And you can see the similarities too. Tia said, just in the E story alone, I was like, what the fuck is this? Tia, I would recommend you to watch some of their older stuff, go back to the 80s and 90s. Well, 80s, I don't know how much you would enjoy that, but you go back to the 90s, WWE, they have WWE Vault. They had the WCW channel as well. And there's something else I'm trying to remember, where they go back and piece like storylines together and matches together so you can see how different things played out, is different, really really different. Their best days are definitely behind them, but like I think what it is that keeps WWE popular is, they have their characters, I don't want to say are strong, but they do have characters that people can definitely connect with. When you got Jay Uso out there doing the most, some little boy is watching that and just saying, oh yeet, I want that jersey, I want that t-shirt, I want to look like Jay Uso. Like, they have that thing, and I think every company has it, where it's like, oh no, you know what, AEW not as much. I think kids more watch WWE, and they can find the characters that they could definitely gravitate towards. And I feel like AEW is a little bit different. And I've always wondered, like, if they, not that they have to be more kid friendly, but like the only person I could really think, like, in terms of the kids really liking, are Willow Nightingale, Orange Cassidy, maybe Mike Bailey. Maybe Mike Bailey. He's definitely one of those kind of guys. Um, that might be it. That might be it. Like, you have to also think from a marketing standpoint. The kids, they're very impressionable, and they want those characters that they want to be like. Because obviously they're the future, and they're probably gonna get in the ring too. Oh, Will Ospreay is another one. Will Ospreay is another one. The kids love Will. So Will Ospreay, Orange Cassidy, Willow Nightingale, and maybe Speedball. In terms of the kids, everyone else, not really. If I'm missing somebody, let me know. If I'm missing somebody, let me know. Even though TKO owns WWE, in my opinion, they haven't evolved behind the scenes. No. And I said this the other day, TKO, they're not a wrestling company. They don't know what the fuck wrestling is. They really don't know what wrestling is. You can tell because nothing, like you said, nothing has evolved. Like, if this was like a corporation that was about wrestling, then you would have seen improvements in the overall show, the quality of the show. And nothing has changed. Nothing has changed in terms of wrestling. They're not a wrestling company. That's what it is. And in a couple of years, when the Saudi owns WWE, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all know. Killer Renta, personally, I think they haven't done one good storyline. This is the OG Bloodline story and the original Dom and Ray beef. I only watch nowadays if my homeboy visits and put on Netflix. Um, I want to say I agree. The Bloodline, they've been recycling it, and honestly, you can do it if you're gonna keep incorporating more and more people to be part of it. You can do that. They lost me with it last year when I felt like they just did not take initiative to make Solo a bigger star. I felt like they just was like, well, Solo, you here, you're the only person we can use right now. They went with that. Jimmy was injured. uh Jay had the whole youth thing kind of going for him or whatever, and I guess they wanted to do his own thing. And then when Jacob got there, kind of stole the show from Solo a bit. And I was just like, yeah, I get it. People are definitely gravitating towards Jacob a little bit more, but like Solo, he's young. Yeah, pulled him away from NXT to be here. He's already here. Go go a long way with him. And they didn't do that. They didn't do that. And at that point, I was like, I'm done with the storyline. I'm done with it. The Dominic and Ray thing is cliche because they're father and son, and then Ray, like, probably the most beloved luchador baby face that there is. So it worked, the cliche thing in terms of wrestling or whatever. But other than that storyline, no, no. But the wrestlers, I love them. I do love them. Except for Cody Rhodes, obviously. Jamie said, when my dad used to take me, he got it from the venue, but it was the 80s prices was different overall. Oh, yeah, different. I never purchased tickets. I purchased from the venue online, but never like go out to like the box office to purchase a ticket. So I don't know like what the difference would have been. Um, I know like in the 90s they were still doing that. 2000 definitely were able to get tickets from online. But now it's Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster, they don't already took everybody's social security numbers and gave it to God knows who, and then that happened to them again, and then they're still the leading source in terms of where you get your tickets from, and they have the nerve to throw all these fees at you. I couldn't believe it when I looked at tickets for WrestleMania 40. I was like number 40 something thousand in line. All right. And then I gave up and I gave it like 3 days or whatever. And I finally got in queue and got to see the tickets. And I was like, where I like to sit, the prices were so insane. So insane. But what was worse was the Ticketmaster fees, because Ticketmaster fees are not set price. When more people are in where more people are looking to get tickets at once, the prices go up. So they're never the same. So when you got so many people all at once waiting in line for something, now they put the Ticketmaster fees up, they leave the ticket prices where it's at. Now when you got the fees to go up, now the tax goes up too. And then by the time you about to, put your card information, you can't even buy the damn thing because you can't afford it, which is insane. I really do feel like, WWE is probably a lost cause at this point. But AEW, I think they should definitely try to definitely go the route with letting their fans get tickets from their venue if there is that option. If there is that option, let them get that so they can actually afford to go. Because Ticketmaster is wilding. They are wilding with these prices. One WWE ticket, I can go to multiple AEW shows. I'm so ready for another Philly or Jersey AEW residency. Yeah, absolutely. That one ticket, you could be going to multiple shows in AEW, and it's so different. Is really different. If you want to go to a WWE show and you want to be able to afford it, you're definitely gonna have to sit further back for sure. For sure. For the same price, you can be sitting in the ring in AEW for the same price. So that's the difference. C Fluid said, my father also used to take me to the matches as well. New Japan is worth watching just to see the the Knockout Brothers. Yudo Ice is too funny. I think yesterday, New Japan put their little documentary on Yudo Ice. It's about 30 minutes long. They have posted with the English subtitles, so if you want to watch that, it's on their New Japan channel. Um, it's interesting. That much I'll say. It's interesting. I don't know if I like him more or not. I'm not sure yet. Tia said, I definitely agree. I finally went back to watch the OG Bloodline story, and it was great. I would do the same thing. Yeah, I think when it started, it was better. And somewhere down the line, sometimes I think what it is like when you try to prolong something, you take away the magic that was there in the beginning. And that's what it was. So we're at the point where it's just like, oh, okay, more Samoan guys, more Polynesian guys. All right. Well, where's this going? You know? I don't necessarily know. I don't know where it's going, but they lost my interest a long time ago. A lot of other people feel the same way too. But they'll probably go with it still and see where it can go. The kids would love Harley with the puppet. Oh, Harley! Do you know how many times I keep saying like when they're gonna sell those damn puppets? A puppet money. People would definitely buy that. And another thing, Tony Khan, if you're watching, where is the Don Callis family poster? Like I keep going over there like every few days just to see if they're selling it. Like I know for y'all probably be like, girl, why do you even want that shit? That's the thing. People want it. Somebody want it. And if somebody want it, they should sell it and make the money. Why not? Make the money. Puppet money, I think, definitely is a good idea. People will definitely buy it. I would buy it. I wouldn't do anything with it, but I'd buy it because I think it's cool. So the kids definitely would enjoy it. As much as as much as Jay has copied Montez style, I believe Jay Uso is still considered changing. C Fluid, J4, come on. Don't never take it that far. Actually, I don't think so. But that I agree with. I really do agree with. And this is why I say like it's so important to have, people of color in situations like in terms of like creative and writing team and things like that because when you see somebody like Jay Uso, I'm just gonna say it like this. I feel like these Polynesian wrestlers they get away with doing exactly what a black man would do, but if a black man did it, he's ghetto, he's ratchet, he's everything under the sun that is not positive. But Jey Uso or Jacob Fatu does something, then they're cool. And I hate that. I really hate that. I really don't. I was gonna say I don't understand why it's like that, but then again, I do know why it's like that. And because at the end of the day, the company all they gotta do is just say that they're Samoans. They don't have to say we got black men on top in this company. They're Samoan or Tongan or Filipino or whatever, within AEW. And it's just it really break my heart when I see situations like this because I'm just like exactly what a black man does if another person of another race does it, it's nothing. Like it's not a problem at all. And a lot of fans, I don't know if y'all experienced it or seen it. A lot of fans, they're racist. They're absolutely racist. And we see it all the time. Y'all think a lot of times y'all reading comments and people are trolling. They're not trolling. They're behind, their phones. Nobody can see who they are. So they can't necessarily to an extent track who is saying, this stupid shit. So there's a lot of, racist ideologies, not just between the fandom itself, but people who was sitting at these tables and coming up with these storylines and coming up who's winning and who's losing in these matches, and they don't see the problem that somebody like me, a person of color, would see. Same thing happened for women too. If they have a whole bunch of people sitting at a table and they're all white people, they don't see anything outside of the white experience. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that. They can't see things like how a woman would see things. They can't see things like how a black person would see things. And then that's how you got these weird things where Jay Uso could be popular. And then people like Montez Ford are left in the dust. I got so fucking tired of just over and over about the Montez Ford thing and then look at Jey Uso. Lovely. Lovely. Jamie Lee said, Tati, did you see the video of these kids wrestling at home and Osprey? Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Osprey, I guess you can say encouraged it, but not encouraged, but basically saw what they did, and what they did was pretty cool or whatever. And Jim Cornette was not happy about it, basically saying how you are a pro wrestler and you are encouraging and improving of children wrestling. And I was just like, yeah, we all did that. We all did that growing up. This is not new. This is not new at all. Matter of fact, them kids was wrestling better in their living room than what I seen Hook do in 6 years. So I don't know what Cornette is going crazy about at this point. I feel like they look for every little thing to argue about. Jim Cornette shouldn't say anything. Jim Cornette has been in this business for so long. He know that there are children wrestling in living rooms. There are children wrestling in playgrounds. So I just feel like he just was looking for something to do. That's all it is. That's all it is. But the kids, they did great. They actually did. And if they want to be pro wrestlers, shit, they might be able to, go to a wrestling school and actually be successful. Honestly, I really don't know. But overall, this is what kids do. They're watching this stuff. They're seeing these cool moves that they're doing, and it's not an AEW thing, it's not a WWE thing. That whatever promotion they're watching, I don't know, but they're seeing it and they think it's cool and they're doing it. Am I saying that the kids should do it at home? Well, no, I'm not saying that they should because somebody can get hurt. But you know, Jim Cornette was just looking for something to do that day. That's all. That's all. Under Vince, the Bloodline storyline worked. Under Hunter Nokia, it's been BS. I want to say it's over unless they can revamp it in a way to get people interested again. But it's been dragging too long. It's a no for me. Oh, Roberto, hey, hon. You said what to all? Her Nakamura got denied for a Tanahashi match, and they went with Okada. Oh, done? How? What do you mean? I didn't hear. I mean, I've been hearing people say, um, for months now that it should be Nakamura. I never thought that they would actually do it. I never thought they would actually do it. I wouldn't be surprised if they did reach out to WWE and ask. But I still feel like Okada's a great choice regardless. But I actually never thought that it was going to happen. But who denied it though? If it happened, I don't know. Killer Red said, "I'll check out the Yudo documentary. I need to look. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to finish it. But I'm gonna go back and finish the documentary. Um, there's something about him where I feel like it's not 100% a character. I feel like he might be a little bit more himself. For people who don't watch New Japan, when you start off in New Japan, you're not necessarily yourself. You're not a character. You're nothing. You're just a young lion who is working in the company, and you move up when you're ready to move up. When you pass that young lion stage, they put you on an excursion. You'll be wrestling at God knows where for X amount of time, and then you come back and you have your debut in New Japan. When you come back to have your debut, you're not that young lion anymore that's just wearing black trunks and black boots. Like, you're literally now a character, and you're something that people have never seen you be before. It does feel like, because like I said, I didn't finish watching the documentary, but I feel like I think that what he's presenting is him to a degree, like outside of wrestling. I do feel like that. However, I think it's a little bit of cultural appropriation for sure. Don Callis family poster. Where's our Hung Swerve tees? Look, bro, I don't know about Hung Swerve. Um, Actually, that would be nice to know. But the Don Callis family poster, I want that. I want that. I want that. Like right above my dining room table. Absolutely, I would love that. Killer Red said, "I swear Montez hasn't wrestled a whole month. What's going on over there?" Honestly, I don't know how long it's been, but I will say, I'm at the point where it's like, all right, it's about to be 2026. If companies are not going to be using people, let them go. Let them go. Or I'm not a fan of necessarily like getting out of your contract, because I feel like, contracts are legally binding or whatever. But wasting time, like nobody wants to be wasting their time. Nobody wants to be wasting their time. And if somebody, regardless of what promotion it is, if they are just locked in some contract, sitting down, not doing anything, let them go. Let them go. Get your lawyers on the line and come up with something and let these people go, and they'll figure out what it is that they want to do left with their careers. I feel like that with people in WWE, people in AEW, New Japan. I don't know, but I'm hearing rumors about contracts running out next year, and it's not looking good. This is why I don't tend to listen to rumors or whatever. But New Japan, we got a little problem right now, and if people are looking at, oh, you know what? Prime example. So personally, I never really, outside of AEW having wrestlers that were in New Japan. The situation with Jeff Cobb was kind of unique because Jeff was leaving to go to WWE versus the other wrestlers who left to go to AEW, which was very interesting. And look at him now. Look at him now. If him being over there makes him happy, I think then that's great. However, I don't think he's looked that great in WWE, and I think he looks better in New Japan. Um, Now, granted, he was in United Empire when he left, and United Empire, I don't know what the fuck going on with that group. So maybe he was going to have to leave that group or just find something else to do to get up on the card. But overall, the only difference with Jeff Cobb being in WWE is that more people get to see him on TV because he's on WWE, and they have more fans, and they're, I guess, showing in more places around the world, and that's literally it. But he is not looking better than not one day that he's been in New Japan. I think they didn't get it right with him. And honestly, what is he? Is he in his 40s? I think if he's in his 40s, I don't expect much out of Jeff Cobb being in WWE. If that's the case, I think he is in his 40s, but whatever. Um, so that was one of those situations, and I'm thinking that if anyone else in New Japan is looking for an example, and they're probably thinking about going to WWE, then they're definitely looking at. Oh wait, hold on, because Hikuleo was another one. So it wasn't just Jeff; it was Hikuleo as well. You know what? Hikuleo, he tall, cute, and that was literally it. I didn't even care for him like that in New Japan. He was tag champs with ELP when the first rumors had came out. He had just lost the tag titles, and then New Japan was just like, we about to shut all them rumors down and put the tag titles right back on ELP and Hikuleo again. And then after that, they lost the titles, and we didn't see Hikuleo for like fucking year or some shit like that. And obviously, y'all see where he's at right now. But I never really thought that he was great. I never really thought that he was great. So y'all got a chance to experience that over in WWE in terms of him as a wrestler, not as coordinated as he should be. So yeah, it was Hikuleo and Jeff Cobb. But then now you're thinking Hikuleo, Jeff Cobb. What do they have in common? They're Asian, and they wanted them specifically because they're Asian to be part of the whole Polynesian thing with the bloodline. But Hikuleo, not that great. Jeb Khan, I think he's great, but just not presented like the way he was in New Japan. I wonder if he'll ever regret that. Jay Millie said Jay yeeting on top of the cage was the dumbest shit I've seen in a minute. I did see that. That I did see. Word Games was dumb, period. Ruined Cena last PLE. The yeeting was whack, period. Imagine seeing during War, they got Lesnar cheered for that. And another thing, too, the Cena thing, I wonder if he's going to regret it. But I know his pockets are looking real fat from that. I don't think necessarily on your last way out, let's be honest. If you also watching New Japan, y'all know President Tanahashi retirement tour looking better than fucking John Cena's, and that's just the truth. It really is. I really do feel like how you hang it up is really important because we're not only gonna look back at like the cool shit that you've done in your career. Now what we have is the last shit you did in your career. You know what I mean? And this last year, I don't think people, if you have been a John Cena fan since the beginning or whenever you turned on, then you would have wanted more from him. Absolutely wanted more from him. And unfortunately, here we are. And then you see Jey Uso doing that foolishness. It really shows you like where it's going for the company as a whole. If you like that, then that's cool. But I don't know how well that's going to translate in the long run with keeping the fans to want to see that long term. So I don't know. Jamie Lee said, "It's just me, Oos." Day one botch. It's just me, Oos. Robin the Cradle. Jada Parker. Jamie Lee, don't do that. Don't do that. Um, that's another interesting thing too. Even the low key racism is blatant. Every match Jade has, she gets cooked. But the Kabuki Warriors botch every week and they get passes. Yeah, and that's another thing too. They look at the situation in terms of like like I have no problem with races or whatever, but yes, the fandom, they don't care. Like the Asian girls, Rhea Ripley could just come out there and fuck up every batch. You're still gonna love her. And then Jade, yes, well, I feel like she could be making improvements. They're never gonna give her credit where credit should be due, and that's the problem because they are looking at color. They are looking at certain things in terms of if I want to cheer for this person or not, and that right there, yeah, it's not fair. Life isn't fair, whatever. But like they're honestly, that type of shit actually is happening, and honestly, it's so stupid. And y'all can hear it too, like when the fans are reacting to certain things and how they're reacting. Like I've seen like fans acting weird with Bianca being out there. I do feel like racism played a big role into that. So when y'all sitting here talking about Bianca, that finger it ain't broke no more. Why would she want to come back? Look at how the bands treat her. You know, they know what's up. The wrestlers, they know. They know. Montez Ford is a toothpick. Well, whatever. He's a cute toothpick. How about that? We love him. J. said them kids taking bumps made me proud. Yes, they actually did really well. You know, if they went to a wrestling school, if there is one near them, or if they do martial arts or whatever like that, they'll do well. They will do well. You know, so I think Jim Cornette just complaining about nothing, nothing. Talking about botches and whackness. What Monet up to? Well, she's gonna be on a pay per view on Friday, so tune into that for Ring of Honor. These kids did better than Peeps on Monday and Friday nights. Well, they did well. They really did. There's a lot of people who are great wrestlers. That yeah, the kids too. Maybe I can't necessarily. We can't call them professional wrestlers, obviously, but they're watching and they're learning. And then we have people who do become professional wrestlers that are amazing wrestlers, but they don't get the opportunity to go out there on national TV and show that. And what's his name, Leo Rush, who's been working in the UK for the past few months. He was talking about this the other day, like, damn, there are so many talented wrestlers in Europe that are not getting the TV time, that are not getting the national TV time to show how great that they are, how they have those star quality about them. There are many great wrestlers out there, that unfortunately won't get an opportunity to show on a national level, like what kind of stars that they can be. Preparing to not botch like Rhea did last night, I assume. Oh my god. Y'all know the drill with Roberto. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the drill. Vince McMahon was in a Royal Rumble. TK enter the what casino battle royale? Hell no, no, we're good. We're good. TK, you don't need to be out there at all. You don't need to be out there. He said, I don't like the Street Profits at all. They are but they are being done dirty. Their men's tag division became irrelevant. I agree. I kind of feel like it's not just WWE. I feel like across the board with a lot of promotions, tag team wrestling is you know? And as much as I think FTR is definitely probably one of the best tag team wrestling right now, probably in terms of like their match quality, I probably would say that they're the best tag team that there is right now, just on the wrestling alone, no promos and nothing else. But the fact that we kind of resorted back to giving the titles to FTR again kind of made me feel a little bit worried about AEW tag division, I don't know. I said, yeah, Jeff Cobb is Unk status. He's cooked. Oh my god. I didn't think it was gonna work out for him. I didn't think it was gonna work out for him. And honestly, I do feel like if you're hiring people, not necessarily because they're great wrestlers and because they fit this narrative of a group that you're trying to make of Polynesian men, I mean, how far are you willing to go with them? Because you already had your idea from the get-go of how you wanted to book somebody to be part of this group, and that's it. So like, is that what they're gonna be? Like it's a cliche thing going on where it's just like we're hiring these guys for this. Now, after things don't work out, or if it did work out in terms of the bloodline, what do you do with these guys after? They're not gonna have no big plans for Jeff Cobb. No, I don't see it. Hikuleo, no. Jacob Fatu, yes. Jacob Fatu, yes. I've watched Jacob in Major League Wrestling for years, and I thought, all right, he's definitely. I never really thought WWE per se or like AEW specifically, but I was like, okay, somebody definitely gonna call him up for sure. And and here he is. We'll see where it goes for him, long term. But yes, I feel like they would definitely, take the initiative to make him a star if it's possible. The other guys, no, no. Jamie Lee said I brought it up on my live. The WWE guys who left AEW to go back are jobbers now. Fragile, fragile Punk can't stay healthy with his toy belt that he only got has because Rollins got hurt. Yeah, CM Punk, I've always liked something about him, but it's not going really well for him. I think I enjoyed him more in AEW. It was a little bit more fun seeing him in AEW. And I wish things would have worked out, but like I I don't know where it's going for him. I don't think he got that much time left anyway. He should just he should call it quits and just don't let it end like how it is with Cena. Well, you know what? Never mind. Never mind. He's not as great as he once was in the ring. And even with the promos too. Even with that. And it's not the same. It's not the same. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And that's the thing too, because y'all see like, CM Punk, I think that even in AW, yeah, wait, AW, did he get injured twice? Was it twice? I think he was it a broken foot or he broke something. Um, Something like that happened, and then maybe he had got injured again. And it's not like he was in the best of health in AEW, like towards the end, you know. That's why if you go back and see, like when they started with Collision, he was doing like a lot of teaming up with FTR and things like that. So he wasn't on his own for a while. That's why I was shocked when he was in not Continental Classic. What's the other one again? The Owen, but he didn't win that, so that was okay. Um, you can really see like at that point, maybe that's when it happened after he broke his leg or whatever it was that he broke. Is where things went downhill. But prior to that, I think he was all right for the most part. The best thing he did for sure in these past few years was the MJS stuff. Him with MJF for sure. I also brought up about Cena, how he's homegrown, but his last match is on Saturday Night Main Event, while Flair, Piper, and Michaels got the Mania spot, not homegrown. Well, I don't think they. I That's a good point, but I don't know how far they was willing to go. Well, not they as a company, but Cena. Maybe he wanted it to end right here in December, and not go further than that. Because obviously, then if he wanted to take it to Mania, then he would have to be in the ring for another 4 more months. Probably didn't want to do all that. I don't know, but I mean that is a good point. If anything, I'm thinking that maybe not for the most part, but at least for his last match was on his terms in terms of when he wanted to happen. And sure, it's not a big show or anything, but that's the route that they're going. I don't think he wanted to go that far with WrestleMania. And who knows? He probably ever got movies and shows lined up too. I wouldn't be surprised. It's John Cena. It's John Cena. I can respect at least with AEW that the tag division has some relevance. It's not ideal, but at least there is a sense of competition and the wrestlers are doing promos for it. Well, that is true. That is true. Honestly, I kind of felt like Hurt Syndicate having it. Who had it? Wait, no, hold on. Okay, Young Bucks had it. And for me, I was a little bored because I was like, they had it again, I'm over it. I want to see something else with the division. Then Private Party had it. And at that point, I was like, yes, I'm interested. I want to see, like, what else can we do? Then the Hurt Syndicate. And when that happened, I honestly, y'all probably not agree. I don't think they added anything to the tag titles. Like they had it, they were over with the fans, but I didn't really care for their matches. I didn't care for it. I don't feel like I said, if y'all disagree, let me know. I don't think they actually put any teams over in terms of you can put somebody over even when they lose. And like there was an opportunity where the Outrunners could have went against Hurt Syndicate and they could have had a killer match that put them over. And this is not 100% on the Hurt Syndicate, but we didn't see the Outrunners on TV for like 2 months after that match. And when we saw them again, Ring of Honor that nobody even watching. Well, a couple of us, but you know what I mean. And I was just like, what? Like, what happened to going against a champion and, getting something out of it? It's not just the opportunity to just go for a title, but it has to be something that bring relevance to that team or relevance to that wrestler for going against a champion. And nothing happened. They didn't even go to the end of the line. They were out the fucking line, okay? Which is worse. And I don't feel like any team per se going against Hurt Syndicate, had it there was an advantage. I didn't see that at all. But anyway, Brodito, they won without even having to pin the champions. You know what I mean? And I figured that was gonna be what they was gonna do because they wanted to, I guess, what's that word I'm looking for? Not have the Hurt Syndicate look like losers in order for them to win. So that makes sense. FTR was the one that got pinned. Was it a pin? Probably was a pin with FTR, and then they pretty much ran it back where FTR got a chance to go against Rodito again, but taking the titles off of them. But then now, when you look at the situation, it's not that FTR are just champions just to be champions. We know where things left off with our stepdaddy and Uncle Adam. That's where they're going to. That's where they're going to. And we'll see. If that's the case, I'm not I'm not excited about it. I'm not excited about it. I want to see new shit. I want to see other teams being brought up. And that's why I say, like, you right, there is some relevancy with the tag division in AEW, but I don't want to keep seeing the same people over and over again with titles. I don't want to see like the same established wrestlers getting these opportunities. The fucking Jet Speed, they just went for the titles a million times this year for the tag titles. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, Top Flight been there, opened the doors for people to come in AEW, and they haven't even got an opportunity. This is why I say, like, they need to start prioritizing more people within the promotion. Because a Top Flight deal run out and y'all see them on NXT, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. He had broke his foot, came back soon, and be broke the same one. Well, then that was it. I think that might have been his first injury since his return. Like, what how long was it that he wasn't wrestling? Like 7, 8 something years. He did damn, was it that long? Was it longer than that? Whatever. He wasn't wrestling for X amount of time. That was a long time. And for you to come back and basically doing it on a weekly basis, and not just a weekly basis, but you have matches with people who are wrestling on a weekly basis. You know what I mean? So like you have to try to push yourself to perform like all these other people that you're getting in the ring with. And plus CM Punk already had that reputation of being a really great wrestler. So, a lot of eyes were on him at that time. And yeah, I think that might have been his first injury back. But then since then, you started seeing like he wasn't 100%, even right before he left AEW. And I do feel like they were going that route. CM Punk, having some type of program with Ricky Starks that could have led to bigger things with Ricky. And for whatever reason, I don't know why that did not help Ricky at all. And obviously, y'all know where he's at now, unfortunately. What? He tore his tricep against Monks and All In before for oh yes, yes. Okay, I remember that. That I remember. Well, damn. Or then he had a little bit more injuries than I remember. Um, I mean, if he would have now, like, if we don't know, but I would, if I was seeing Punk, maybe I would have came back to wrestling and do like a deal for like 2 years with AEW or whatever and see how it goes, and probably would hang it up on that. Whatever amount of money they threw at CM Punk, y'all know it was big bucks. Y'all know it was big bucks. But then again, you know, things didn't work out. And I know Triple H threw the fucking Brinks truck at him just to get him over there. And, I don't want to say necessarily that the money wasn't worth it, because it's probably not the case, because, they made their money. especially with merch and shit. But overall, he's not that well in terms of what he can do in the ring anymore. He broke his foot, led to the squash against Monk. Oh my God, why did you bring that up? I would love to forget that. I would love to forget that. Yeah, that's situation like that. It goes to show like the company had big plans for CM Punk, and they really wasn't gonna let it go. You know what I mean? And doing stupid shit like that, probably just to keep him around. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know. But they've gotten a little smarter with things. They've gotten a little smarter with things over in AEW. Crazy part, he got hurt when he made his return, when he jumped in the crowd. Yes, that's what it was. The jump in the crowd. There's that. There's that. Doing all that little extra shit. I mean, that is true. That is true. I forgot about that too. Like I said, I would have probably did like that good little maybe a year. If things worked out in the year, then extended it to another year. Cause like I said, he was out of the ring for a really long time. But I still feel like since he's been back to wrestling as a whole, we got in the best out of CM Punk when he was in AEW. I really do think so, for sure. I hope his career ends however it is that he wanted to, but I highly doubt that that would be the case. I wish he would have had better fortune in terms of his health in the ring, but who knows? Who knows? All right, you guys, we've made it to the end of the chat. Tomorrow, we do have Dynamite. We have the semifinals for the ladies. We have the what was it called again? Holiday hardcore. What was it again? Holiday hardcore death match, whatever it is. Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa going against Marina and Megan Bain. Winner of that match will advance on to the finals for the AW women's tag titles. Oh my god. And we have John Moxley going against Claudio tomorrow. I am so nervous. I'm so nervous about it. I feel like there's only two possibilities with this one, that either Claudio beats Moxley clean or it's a draw. I still don't see Moxley beating Claudio. I don't see that happening. I don't know why. If we're thinking just storyline purposes, I think that it's either going to be a draw. I would prefer it to be a draw, or Claudio would beat John Moxley. And I think Kevin Knight and Kyle Fletcher, if I remember correctly. I'm literally trying to go off memory. I fucking don't know. I really don't know. Other than that, I think there should be like another one or two Continental Classic matches on the card as well. So should be a good night for AEW tomorrow. We will see. Honestly, another thing too, because some people have asked like who I want to win the Continental Classic. I don't know. I don't know who I want to win. I just don't want it to be Okada. That's it. I don't want it to be Okada. I want to be someone else because he's had it too long and really didn't do much with it. Every story he had was great. Oh yeah, every story that he had was great. It really was. That's why I said like if it would have worked out with Punk and AEW, he probably would have been able to retire better, with having the end of his career look better than how it is right now, or what it's going to be leaving WWE. So honestly, I don't know. Only time will tell. I don't think it's going to necessarily get better from here for CM Punk, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, you guys. I will be back tomorrow for Dynamite. See you guys then. Good night.